How Do I Learn by Emma Thuix. Which theory best describes how I learn? Social cognitive theory. What is social cognitive theory and how does it work? According to our PowerPoint on social cognitive theory is an individual that learns by observing and thinking about the actions of others and observes the consequences of those actions. Some examples of these mentors are family members, teachers, and peers. Some of these are part Some terms that are a part of this theory are observational learning. Observational learning is a type of learning that involves acquiring skills, strategies, and beliefs by observing others. Within observational learning, there is attention, production, retention, and motivation. Attention is when an individual must be with the model copy and models actions. Next is production, which is when the model is doing the action, and then retention is when the individual takes what the model does, stores it in their memory. Finally, there is motivation. This is when the individual must be motivated or must want to do the action the model showed them. Social cognitive theory background continued. Another term for this theory is self-efficiency. This means our beliefs about personal competence or efficiency in a specific area. An individual is more likely to learn if they can master a situation and produce a positive memory from it. Then it's stored in their memory to use and be successful. This goes along with self-instructional methods. These are, according to our PowerPoint notes, cognitive behavior techniques aimed at teaching individuals to modify their own behavior by altering what they say to themselves. Try replacing negative statements with positive statements instead. Then there are self-regulatory methods. Self-regulation, from the same notes, is the process we use to manage our thoughts, behaviors, and emotions in order to reach our goals. This is just like the video with Adam Sandler teaching that little boy things. He realized he was teaching the boy things that was affecting him in school, so he changed what he taught him and taught him things that will help him, but still had fun. Why is this theory the best way for me to learn? Doing my schoolwork. When I was in school, I would struggle on tests that other students would always do well on. Before tests, I would watch the other students that I knew were doing well and see what they did before the test. I noticed that I would study and look at their notes, that they would study and look at their notes. And then I started to do it because I thought it is what I needed to do in order to get a good grade. Because of watching the other students, I was able to copy their behavior and study for my tests beforehand and get a better grade on those tests. So, like in this chart here, it explains that I did not know how to get a good grade on a test. And then I watch other students before the test, start studying before my test, which then I got to my goal to get a good grade on the test. And then I kept studying for those tests in the future for a better grade overall. So the next situation was watching someone jump my car. This last year, my car would not start. I did not know how to jump start it either. I called someone to jump start my car, and while he was doing it, I was watching him doing it. Saw that he did not have the positive cable on properly, and then he corrected and fixed it. After that time, there was another time my car died, and because I watched him do it and correct his mistake, I was able to connect my car properly and jump my car on my own. So same thing with this chart. I did not know how to jumpstart my car. I watched the guy connect my car. I learned how to connect my car correctly. I started my car, which was my goal. And then I was able to jumpstart my car correctly by myself. Motivation. According to the motivation PowerPoint in class, it states that motivation involves a process that energizes, direct, and sustain behavior. It also directs behavior towards specific goals. It can increase effort and persistence in activities, and also then lastly affects cognitive processes. And within that, there are intrinsic motivation, the internal desire to do something for its own sake. The activity is the reward. For example, participating in a sport because it's fun and you enjoy it rather than doing it to win an award. And then also learning a new language because you like experiencing new things, not because your job requires it. And then the next one is extrinsic motivation. Motivation that is created by external factors such as rewards and punishments. Examples: getting paid to work at your job and getting good grades. What can affect motivation? Attribution, explaining the causes of their own successes and failures, which this can include ability, effort, task difficulty, and luck. And then also locus of control. This is internal versus external locus of control, which is like self-regulation and self-determination. So then, goals. According to the same motivation PowerPoint, there are 4 goal orientation patterns related to achievement in school. Goal is an outcome that someone tries to complete. So within the 4 goal orientation patterns, the first one is mastery goals. Student is motivated to improve and to learn. Some examples are personal achievement is based on individual personal growth, and effort determines outcomes. The next one is performance goals. Student is motivated to show their ability compared to the established norm or to others, which within that, the personal achievement is based on doing better than others. Learning is not the end goal. It is the vehicle used to outperform others, which is the end goal. And then the next one is work avoidance goals. Student is motivated to avoid work or do as little to nothing as possible. This is avoidance of work altogether, finish the work quickly to get it over with, and complete the easiest task that requires the least amount of effort. And then the last one is social goals. Student is motivated by relationship needs, which is like friendships, dating, athletics, any kind of like relationship that a student can form. So how does motivation affect my learning? I've always had issues with motivation. I had a very work avoidance goal way of thinking. I can procrastinate on things that I don't want to work on, and I cut corners on certain tasks if it means I can get it done faster. However, if I am very interested in something, I will work very hard on it. If I'm working on an art piece that I enjoy, I can spend hours on it and will work on every detail to make it perfect. So when I work on homework assignments or classes that I'm not very interested in, I tend to procrastinate and not work as hard on it. I've been working on this for a very long time. I have learned that when I am motivated and in a mood to work hard, similar to when I work on my art projects, I will work for as long as I can to finish with the best work I can to get what I need to do done. I have gotten so much better about my motivation in my learning as I have gotten older. I would say now I am more of a mastery goal way of thinking because I want to do well and succeed in what I want to do. So going along with this, how does motivation affect my learning? One situation is having something to do. Before high school started, I tried out for the softball team and I did not make the cut. I was so devastated that my grades were affected by this. Then I joined band and realized that I loved it. I played throughout high school and my grades were so much better. I believe that I learn and do better in school if I keep myself busy. I was able to stay motivated and get my homework done and keep my grades up to be able to participate in my favorite activities. My next situation is major change. When I was a graphic design major with a marketing minor. For my first year of college, I really liked what I did. However, as I continued, something felt off. I noticed my motivation and passion for it was gone. I was not getting good grades, especially in my marketing classes, because I did not understand what was going on in those classes. I didn't want to go to classes. I just felt like I was not good at it anymore. I was not happy. Then last semester, I decided I should change my major, and ever since then, I have way more motivation. I actually understand and like what I am learning. I have better grades, and overall, I am so much happier. Thank you for listening to my presentation.